Thanks for coming back. Maryland Food Bank announced a massive layoff of personnel in Western Maryland. This reduction in force will take the local staff from its current level of 9 full-time employees to just 1. Jim, help me understand this.
Yeah, help me understand it. Did the problem with hungry families go away? I don't think so. We just talked about homelessness.
Yes.
I'm guessing that some of those people were homelessness or
Is
hungry.
it a funding problem? What's-
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of explanation about it. What I do know is that it's got to have an impact on our community.
Well, is the food bank going away, or are they replacing these full-time employees with volunteers now?
I don't think they are doing volunteers.
Well, I don't know that, but
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know that. But the point is that this food bank serves a lot
Right.
of different organizations in this community. How do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we go from 9 to 1? If we needed 9 yesterday, how do
Right.
we go? I'm assuming that 8 of the 9 people weren't sitting around with nothing to do 8 hours a
Right.
day.
Well, I do know, this might be a saving grace, is that there are local churches that they also have independent food bank programs. Anybody that's been affected by this, if you're having problems get your orders filled, please reach out to those local churches.
But isn't I would assume that part of the jobs of those 8 people is to go solicit the donations to fill up the food bank, because my guess is it doesn't fill itself up. My guess
No.
is,
Right.
until my kid comes home with the note from school saying next week is food bank week, bring in your canned goods to donate to the food bank. Quite frankly, and hopefully this is not a bad reflection on me, but I don't think about it.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I was at a business meeting a couple weeks ago, and I was really touched at the business meeting because one of the things they asked a lot of the executives at the meeting to do was bring along food for donations to local food banks. All right, now they didn't just bring along like 1 or 2 cans each. Some of them would bring in entire grocery bags filled with food just to give to the local food banks, and I would love to see that spirit here as well.
Yeah, I just think it shouldn't be just executives. I think it should be the entire community that can afford one bag of groceries to help support our local food resources. I do know our food resources, not like the local churches, but they do have perishable foods there. They have a big freezer, so they just do non-perishable, but they do perishable as well. So there is a difference. And I know they get food from the Baltimore Food Bank, but going down 9 to 1, you got someone going to be running the office, and you got someone out there on a tow motor getting the supplies off the shelves to put it in the truck.
Right.
You know.
And now that person
I'm
is the
concerned.
same person.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very concerned by this because, if they had, a sudden drop off in the number of people that, need assistance with food, then okay, I could understand it maybe. But, here we are, we just talked about, how many kids in this county qualify for free and reduced lunches, and it's a significant number. I mean, obviously those same families are going to need help with a food bank.
Yeah, you take 9,000 kids, well, times 2, mother and dad, say that's 18, that's 27,000 right there off the bat. But then you got the senior citizens out there. Then you got all the nonprofit organizations like prison ministries go out there to get food to help people here in town to go to eat. Because I tell you, some people have a tough time feeding 1 meal a day.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
We take it granted we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Some people have a tough time eating once.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't help but, think about, our last topic with the kids and, wonder, well, where do their meals come from when it's not school time?
Well, and they have that Micah's backpack
Right.
thing that they started to hopefully try to provide those kids some meals. But I mean, there's a lot of people doing little things. This is something that hopefully somehow we can figure out how to address as a full community rather than in little pockets.
Okay. So we'll leave it there. The last word is Jim.
All right.
Okay, next up, the world has finally come to an agreement. Find out more about when we come back in 3 minutes.